I'm Paula from Chic Emporium. Today we've got a bit of a different project. I found this in a junk shop quite a while ago and I've been umming and ahhing about what to do with it. But finally I've sort of got some ideas in my head. I've asked husband to build me this, cut it to size so that it will have a back, and it's made out of tongue and groove, and we've at the moment just loosely taped it together to hold it together. So I'm going to make some decoupage planks using this funky cardstock that I've found. So the first thing I've got to do is I'm going to use flamenco to just paint a stripe down the grooves, and then I'm going to cut this into various strips and build it together to make different planks of different card, and I shall use PVA glue to stick all that down. That's my first job, to get this board done, because I need it to glue and hold properly dry before I can start sanding it back and distressing it. So I'll come back when I've got a bit further along with the project. Alright, see you later. Right, I just wanted to show you where we were at and explain. If I take that piece away, you can see that I've done flamenco in the join, and I've also created some lines across like that so that it kind of looks like a fake panelling. That was what I wanted it to look like before we sand it down. Obviously at this point we've now got to glue it all down, but I wanted to show you what it looked like. So we're going to just use normal PVA to get them all in place. It will give us the opportunity to just shifty things around a bit, and then wait for it to properly dry before we start sanding and distressing. So that's the next stage, and then I'm going to crack on and give this a coat of ivory tower. So we will come back to you then. Alright. Right, so what I've done, once I've stuck it all down and let it dry, I have gone over it with a sand. I used both the electric sander just as it is, keeping it flat, trying to put a little bit of pressure on the angle of the dips, and then I've gone back over it with using normal sandpaper. This is 120 grit, to do across the lines here so that it's all looking faded and like it's all part of original planks. That was the look that I wanted. And to finally finish it off, to make sure it's all protected and not going to peel off any more than it has deliberately, I've done a finishing coat over the whole of it, so I need to leave that to dry, and then that bit is as good as done and protected. In the meantime, I've done my first 2 coats of ivory tower on the structure. Actually underneath, you can't particularly see it on the top, but underneath the shelves, and particularly if it's mounted in the air, you will be able to see it, there's quite a lot of bleeding. But it's not going to be a problem because we are going to be doing a two-tone effect and doing some cracks and using some dark wax. So I'm not too worried about treating that with finishing coat at this stage. So I'm going to sign off for now, let things dry, and then get back to it on the next day and move things forward then and show you how we're doing. Alright, see you then, bye. Good morning. As promised, we left it overnight to dry, and I've come in this morning and I've had, frankly, quite a session. Look at the state of me. My dog, nightmare, most impractical thing ever to have a puppy in the shop when you're painting, because he really likes paint and it's now everywhere. But we have now achieved it. He's now zonked out on the sofa. So what I've done is 2 coats of ivory tower, 1 coat of crackle glaze, and then a 3rd coat on top of the crackle glaze of ivory tower again. So that has activated the cracks. So it now looks very crackled, looks quite nice in itself, to be honest. But I'm now going to have a play around with wax to get into the crackles. So when I get to mixing that up, I'll show you what I'm doing. But that's it, finished. The board behind is nice and dry and looking nice and distressed. So happy with it so far. I'll come back to you when we get to the waxing. Alright, see you then. Right, I did some research, and it appears, I've never tried it, that you can tint wax with colour paint, which I thought might be really cool, seeing as I've got a really bright red background, to have some red going in the cracks of the unit. So as a starting point, I have mixed 50-50 French heat clear wax. I only had a little bit left in the pot, and I guess flamenco about approximately the same amount, and I've just used a brush to mix it all up. I've got quite a thick consistency. I've no idea how this is going to work. My thoughts are, do I put a layer of clear wax over the whole thing first to protect it, or do I just go for it and potentially ruin it? I might have to have a go before we come back, just quietly to myself on the corner so you can't see how badly it goes wrong, and then I'll show you what's happening and seeing if it's working or not, or if I've had to have a contingency plan. So I'll see you in a bit. Right. Right, so I had a little practice on the side here, and I thought it looked quite good, so I've carried on. It's given it a whole red sheen, as you can see, and I think if I'd put clear wax on first I could probably have wiped back some of that, but I haven't. I've just gone for it and put it straight on. But I think it's okay because it will go very well with what I've got. So I guess there's options there, but nice to know that you can colour wax, I think. So I'm going to carry on and do all of it the same, and then see if I want to add anything else. I might add a little bit of white wax perhaps, just to lighten up some areas, maybe even some dark wax. I'll see what it looks like when I'm finished, so I'll come back. Right, so we come to a pause in the journey here, because this was all experiment, and I think it's okay, and I'm really pleased that I tried the red mixing the paint with the wax, and it has really worked. I think because it was white underneath, it's made it look very pink, and pink and red in my head don't go together very well, and I think what's happened when I look at it is I lose the back, which is the bit that I really liked. So we tried putting some dark wax in the accents in the corners, and again, it's okay, but I'm not happy with it, and I keep looking at it and I'm not happy with it. So I'm going to have to, because I'm not happy with it, move it apart from the back, and I'm going to paint it all in cream, and I'm going to see what happens after that. And that's just the way these things go. I could just leave it and sell it and somebody might like it, but I'm not happy. so moving on, we're going to blitz it with some cream paint and we'll show you what it looks like then. Alright. Right, this piece has been a bit of a mission, and it looks a lot better now than it did. We were really lucky because we just put one coat of a cream mixture of colours that are leftovers on it, and quite unbelievably, despite all the wax that was underneath it, the cracks still just came through after one coat. So then I've just put some dark wax over all of it, and you can obviously pick out and see all the cracks. So I think it looks a lot better. I've got rid of the pink, which was really my big bone of contention, and I can live with it. It's not my favourite piece, but I can live with it, and it will probably sell now. So thanks for watching, thanks for sharing in this journey of trial and errors, and we're going to have lots of them along the way. Please subscribe to my channel and follow my page, which is www.facebook.com/The Emporium Furniture, which will take you straight to Very Chic Emporium. Thank you very much, till the next time.
Love is a crazy, makes my heart go.